Okay. My name is Diane, and I will be talking about my city for my honors project named Chula Vista, California, and the good parts about it and the bad parts about it. So let's go ahead and get started. So, for geology, which is the first section that I'm doing, the location, of course, is in a location of Chula Vista, California, is in southeastern United States. Its elevation is 66, and the topography is flat, but it's also coastal. Like it doesn't have a lot of mountains or anything, but I said it's also coastal as well because to it's very close to bodies of water. And as for natural disasters, earthquakes can happen, volcanoes. There are smaller volcanoes, but they're all dormant. There's not really a lot of landslides, and if they are landslides, and they're very minor. And then tsunamis are also possible with being in so close distance to the Pacific Ocean. Now, the next section is hydrology. So the major river basin or watershed for Chula Vista is the California River Basin. And flooding isn't really likely since there's not really a lot of active precipitation because Chula Vista has a very sunny, warm, and dry climate, but it's still possible. Um, and as for the high tide and low tide, Chula Vista has a high tide average of 4 feet and a low tide average of 1 feet. And the major rivers that are nearby Chula Vista is the Sweetwater River, the Otay River, and the San Diego River. Um, and like I said before, flooding can happen, but it's very rare, and it usually happens on occasion. But it's never really like deadly or anything. Now, going into meteorology, the climate of Chula Vista is overall very sunny, warm, low precipitation, and a dry climate. So, as what other people would describe a Mediterranean climate. And as for severe weather, tornadoes aren't likely with the geographical profile that Chula Vista is in. Hurricanes are possible with it being a coastal city and rare flooding as well. The average wind speeds for Chula Vista is 7.65 miles per hour. As for astronomy, um, the state that it's a part of is in California. It's on the west coast of the United States, and the time zone is the Pacific Standard Time zone. The average daylight hours for each season in Chula Vista is for spring 13 hours, for summer 14.3 hours, winter 10 hours, and fall 11.3 hours. The winter equinox for 2021 in Chula Vista will be December 21st and the summer equinox will be June 20th. There aren't a lot of astronomical events like the aurora borealis. Um, so yeah, there's not a lot of really amazing astronomical events except just the usual like eclipses and possibly comets. Now, for environmental studies, for natural elements, the ecosystem that Chula Vista is a part of is the North American desert and the temperate Sierra. So they have all 4 seasons, some precipitation, stuff like that. National parks that are near or in Chula Vista is the Oregon Pipe, Cactus, NM, or the Joshua Tree um, National Parks. And any old growth forest that's nearby Chula Vista is the Sierra National Forest. Avalanches are rare because it's just not a part of that climate that Chula Vista is a part of. Forest fires are very possible because of the dry precipitation and then also because of humans as well. Some forest fires um, can happen, you know, as kind of like a domino effect because of humans. So that's definitely a human effect um, for Chula Vista. And then, like I said before, droughts are very possible because of the lack of a lot of precipitation. And definitely get Chula Vista definitely gets a lot less precipitation than the average city in the United States will. Um, and avalanches are extremely rare. As for environmental concerns, there's very minimal health concerns when it comes to the environment, as in like water, air quality, stuff like that. But the water is very safe. Water quality is really good. The air quality is really good. It's breathable. Um, so yeah. Now, as for human activities, when it has to deal with agriculture, the many fruits and foods that is grown in Chula Vista locally is tomatoes, peppers, eggplants, broccoli, cauliflower, and Brussels sprouts, and also lemons. There's a lot of many community cleanups. The community in Chula Vista overall cares about their city and cares about their town, and therefore there's a lot of community cleanups. Um, and as for mines, Chula Vista has 117 nearby mines, whether in Chula Vista or nearby, but only 34 are actually currently active. Fracking is also active in Chula Vista as well, um, and there are 9 brownfields in Chula Vista, and a brownfield is a property, the expansion, redevelopment, or reuse of which is a property um, or like a development that may be complicated by a potential presence or presence of a hazardous like substance in that area, if it's in the soil or in the air or something. Um, and there are 9 of those. There isn't a lot of deforestation. It's just kind of like the average of when you compare it to other cities. Um, as for energy, most of the energy used in Chula Vista is renewable energy, and as for percentages, 48 for 48.7 um is renewable energy. So what? No, 48.7 is the percentage of annual like energy compared to other states. Now, when we're talking about endangered species, there's a total of 287 endangered species in Chula Vista. Most of them being flowering plants, fishes, and birds. But three notable plant species is the Ambryosa pulimia, the Centronadia, and the Apuntia wolfie. And as for three wildlife endangered species, is the California condor, the Stevens kangaroo rat, and the California gnatcatcher. So overall, Chula Vista, California is a great place to live if you really like sunny climates. Um, and there's not really too many like bad things. Like there's not a lot of flooding, not a lot of there's no tornadoes or anything. And while there are frequent earthquakes in Chula Vista, um, it's honestly just a really like decent place to live. That's very safe. It's a smaller town, and it seems like there's a very nice community that is involved that lives in Chula Vista. And I mean, honestly, Chula Vista means beautiful view. So I definitely think that Chula Vista is a good place to live after having to research it. So, yeah.